Hey guys, it's me Jocelyn. So today I'm going to be showing you a few smooth beginner transitions on Alight Motion. Now these are for beginners, so if you are already experienced and you clicked on this video, I'm sorry, but hi I guess. So yeah, anyways, let's get started. The first one we're going to do is a spin. So go ahead and go on to effects, add effect, and then go to add on tiles, and then select mirror. Now go out of there and go move and transform, and this is the spin panel, so go ahead and tap on that. Add one diamond with a plus in it at the beginning, which is called a keyframe, and one at the end. And you can spin at -90 or +90. I'm going to do -90 degrees, and then I'm going to hold down on my keyframe and just drag it as far as I can, just so it goes all the way to the end. So now that I'm in between, what I want to do is tap this graph right here, and I want to tap this one right here, and then pull this part down and pull this part a little bit more forward. Yours doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but it should look somewhat similar. So this is how your spin will start out to look. Also, this is Sarah Paulson and Lily Rabe, in case you guys didn't know. Okay, so now go ahead, go into your second photo, go on to effects, add effect, and then tiles again, then hit mirror again. Now go back to move and transform, select the spin panel, add two diamonds with the plus in them, which is a keyframe, one at the beginning, one at the end, and on the first one, make it +90. Say you did -90 the first time, this time you're going to want to make it +90, or vice versa. So go ahead and tap the graph again, and instead of touching this one, you want to tap this one right here, and then pull this part up, and then pull this part a little bit closer, and then you will have a spin. It'll end up just looking like this, but it's still a spin. And I recommend going on to effects, add effect, blur, and adding on motion blur. Motion blur just makes your edits all just all around look smooth in general. So this is what you should end up with at the end of it. Just a smooth spin. Okay, the next transition is going to be a slide. So go ahead and, if you want, you don't have to add tiles. I just have mine on already. So go ahead and add those on like I showed you in the last transition. And then go to the move and transform again. You don't have to select any of these things. Just go ahead and add the keyframe right here and a keyframe right here. And on the second one, go ahead and slide it up like this. Try to make it on the red line like as much as you can, but if you can't, that's okay. And then go ahead and then just do the graph that I told you to do. So select the second one, pull it down, and pull this one forward. So this is what it should end up looking like. Now go ahead and slide it the opposite way you did the first time. So add your keyframes and slide it the opposite way that you did the first time. So I'd slide mine down since I slid it. Okay, slid it up the first time. Now go ahead and select this one again for the end of your transition and just make it the way I am. And that is a smooth slide. That goes for any of these. If you wanted to slide it the opposite way, like if you wanted to slide it going to the side, you'd always just slide it like that. But yeah, this is just a simple slide. Also, if you want, add your motion blur, so don't forget about that. Okay, so the next transition is going to be a zoom in. So what you want to do is go ahead and go to move and transform, and then select this thing right here and add two keyframes, one at the beginning and one at the end. And on the second one, go ahead and just zoom it in like I am. You can zoom it in as much or as little as you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my keyframe right here. Then I'm going to do the graph that I showed you guys how to do for the first one. This is what it looks like when it's zooming in. Now on the second one, I'm going to go ahead and go back onto the zoom in panel, add my keyframes once again. And now on the first one, I want to slide it the opposite way I did the first time. So I'm going to slide it out this time, so it ends up looking like this. Then we're going to do the out graph that I taught you guys. So now you have a zoom in. It's very just simple, I guess, but it's also super smooth. Okay, now this next one is going to be a stretch open transition. So go ahead and go onto that zoom in panel you were on before and tap this little infinity sign type thing, and then add your keyframes. Now you can slide it this way, which is closing in on itself, or slide it the other way, which is like opening itself, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opening option, and then I'm just going to do my in graph that I taught you guys. So the first part of the transition should look like this. And then the second part, you're going to want to go back onto the zoom in panel and add two keyframes. And on your first one, slide it the opposite way you did the first time, so now it's closing in on itself. Do you guys see, like, you're doing the opposite way of what you do for the first transition? So that way it's just maybe a little bit easier for you to understand. Then go ahead and do the out graph that I taught you, and this is what you should end up with. I like this transition a lot. I use it in a lot of my soft edits, and yeah. Okay, for this next transition, it is a slide open vertically. So what you want to do is go ahead and do the exact same thing you did for the last one. And on the second keyframe, go to the bottom panel right here, and you can either slide it open or slide it closed. I'm going to go ahead and slide it open just like this. Then I'm going to adjust my graph. So it should start off looking like this. Now go on to your second photo and add 2 keyframes. And on the first one, go ahead and slide it the opposite way, so now it's closing in on itself. This is basically the vertical option, I hope I'm saying that right, of the first transition. So this is what it should end up looking like. And you can add on directional blur for this one if you'd like, but I just would use motion blur. So yeah.